All right, guys, we're going to be working on 1.7, which is multiplying numbers with decimals. So we are going to start with number 6. So number 6, make sure you guys can see this. Number 6 is 29.14 times 5.2. Notice how I still am using those vertical lines to help me. So my directions say estimate and then find the product. So I need to estimate what it would be, and I'm going to make this into a 30. So it'd be 30 times this 2 is telling me that I can just round down. So 30 times 5 equals, and I know that 3 times 5 equals 15, plus a 0 equals 150. All right, so that'll tell me where my decimal point will go. When I do multiply these numbers, it does give me a hint that my decimal point would go right after my 150 or right after my 100th place. So this is just an estimate. It does not tell me exactly, so I have to find what the actual product is. So I start by saying 29.14 and then times 5.2. Notice that I did not align my decimal points. I don't have to do that because I know where my decimal point will go, and if I aligned them, I would have extra steps that are not needed. So I start with 2 times 4 equals 8, 2 times 1 equals 2, 2 times 9 equals 18, so I put in 8 here and the 1 goes up there. Then I have 2 times 2 equals 4 plus this 1 equals 5. I'm going to cross off that 1 because I already used it. And I don't want to get confused when I go about doing my 5 multiples. All right, so now I'm starting the next place value. So I add a 0 here so I know I don't line them up there. I start to line them up here. 5 times 4 equals 20, so I put a 0 there and a 2 here. Now I know 5 times 1 equals 5. 5 times 1 equals 5 plus 2 equals 7. All right. 5 times 9 equals 45, which I would put my 5 here and my 4 up here because my 4 for my 45 goes right there. Then I do 5 times 2, which equals 10, plus 4, which equals 14. So I write 114. All right, so then I have to add these numbers together to get my product. So 8 plus 0 equals 8, 2 plus 2. All right, 2 plus 0 equals 2. 8 plus 7 equals 15. So 5, carry up the 1 up there. 1 plus 5 equals 6. 6 plus 5 equals 11. So my 1 goes here, 1 goes there. 1 plus 4 equals 5, and 1 plus nothing else equals 1. So I came out with a long, long number. But from my estimate, I knew that I was going to put my decimal point after the hundredths place. So the hundredths place would be 151 decimal. So it would be 151 and 0.528. So that would be my product of that number. Okay, so then we're going to move on to 7. I'm going to do 7 on here, but I'd like you to do it on your own and check your answer with me. So this video will be paused for you to complete the problem by yourself, and then I will go through and do it so you guys can follow along. All right, so for number 7. Hopefully that'll focus on it. All right, so for number 7, it is 6.95 multiplied by 12. Okay, so I need to estimate first. So I would do I'm just going to make that a 7 because that 9 can tell me I can round up with that 6. So I'm going to make this a 7. So this would be 7 times 12. So I need to estimate that. 7 times 12 equals, you can reference your multiplication chart if you need to. So it's 7 times 12 equals 84. So that is my estimate. And I know that my decimal point would go after my 10th place right now. So really after my 100th place, but it would be 2 digits. So it would be around like 84. All right, so then we go to 6.95. I'm going to actually find the product. So 6.95 times 12. Okay. So 2 times 5 equals 10. I add that 1 up there. 2 times 9 equals 18. But then I add my 9 because 2 times 9 equals 18 plus 1 equals 19. So it's 9. And then my 1 goes up here. 2 times 6 equals 12 plus 1 equals 13. All right, I cross off these 1s because I already used them for my 2, and I don't want to get confused. So 1 times, I put the 0 there because I moved over a place value. Then I say 1 times 5 equals 5. 1 times 9 equals 9. That doesn't look like a 9. 9. And then 1 times 6 equals 6. So then I go ahead and I add them all together. So 0 plus 0 equals 0. 9 plus 5 equals 14. So 14, I add my 1 over here. 1 plus 3 equals 4. Plus 9 equals 13. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Plus 6 equals 8. All right. So I got 83.40. I knew from my estimate up here that my decimal point would go 2 places in. So it's 83.4 or 83.40. All right, so now we are going to, I would like you to complete 8 on your own. You're first going to estimate, and then you're going to find the product. 8 is 0.055 times 1.82. So I first need you to estimate, and then I need you to go ahead and find the product. We are going to move on to number 9, which, here we go. Let me just pull this up just a little bit so I can write underneath it. Number 9, which it wants you to evaluate using the order of operations. So our order of operations, again, are PEMDAS. I'm going to write them up here. Okay, so that's what we're following. So then we get to number 9, which is parentheses 3.62 multiply by 2.1 end parentheses minus 0.749. Okay, so if I'm following PEMDAS, P equals parentheses, so I need to complete what is in my parentheses first. That's always how you follow it. So I first will set up this. I like to, if I have an extra sheet of paper, which I think you guys really need them, so please try to use one, I like to create a little box. So like my first box would be step 1, which would be my multiplication problem, because that is in the parentheses. This might be a little too big, but that's okay. I'd rather you have more space than not enough. So this is step 1. Okay, so it'd be 3.62 multiply by 2.1. Okay, let's have this focus in. There we go. I can estimate based off this that this would round up to a 4. So my 3 would round up to a 4, and it would be 4 times 2 equals 8. That's just a quick estimate. So I know that my decimal point will go after my 1's place, and it would just have one number outside of the decimal point. All right, so 1 times 2 equals 2. 1 times 6 equals 6. 1 times 3 equals 3. Okay. 2 times 2 equals 4. Oops, sorry guys, I made that mistake and I need you to try not to make it. So I'm starting a next decimal point or place, actually in the next place value. So I need to do a 1 here. All right, I'm really losing my mind. I need to do a 0 here and then start. So 2 times 2 equals 4. 2 times 6 equals 12. So I put my 2 here and I put my 1 up here for out of my 12. Yeah, there we go. And then 2 times 3 equals 6, but plus 1 equals 7. So here we go. So I add 2 plus 0 equals 2, 6 plus 4 equals 10. So my 0 goes up here, my 1 goes up here. 1 plus 3 equals 4, 4 plus 2 equals 6, 7, and then there's nothing else right there, so 7 equals. And then I knew that it would be close to my 8, so my decimal point needs to go after my 7. All right, so now here is my step 2, and this is why I make those boxes so you can separate your steps. This is my step 2. If I look back at the problem, it would be whatever product comes from here minus 0.749. All right, so the product here was 7.602. So now I do 7.602 minus, and this is where I need to line up the decimal points again, guys, because it's not a multiplication problem. So I line them up and I go decimal point 749. All right. All right. So now it is 2 minus 9. I can't do that, so I need to go over here. Well, I can't take it from 0, so I take it from here. That becomes a 5. This becomes a 10, but I have to take it away, so this becomes a 9. This becomes a 12. 12 minus 9 equals 3. 9 minus 4 equals 5. 5 minus 7 I can't do, so I have to come over here and borrow. This becomes a 6. This 5 becomes a 15. 15 minus 7 equals 8. I bring my decimal point down. 6 minus 0 equals 6. So this is my answer to the whole problem. All right, so I would like you to go ahead and do number 10 and 11 on your own if you have enough time. I'll record myself doing number 10, but I'd like you to complete it on your own first, and then we will do it. You can at least follow my work if you need to and have the time to. Oops. All right, so number 10. All right, let's see if you can read that as well. All right, so number 10 is 5.8 minus parentheses 0.25 times 1.5. Remember, guys, I'm still following PEMDAS. So that tells me to do what is in my parentheses first. So in my parentheses, I can make my little box again so that I know this is my step 1. All right, so it would be 0.25 times 1.5. So 0.25 times 1.5. I can look at this and estimate that 2 times 0, because I rounded this 1 up to a 2 because of the 5. So 2 times 0 equals 0. So my decimal point won't have anything in front of it. So I start with 5 times 5 equals 25. So the 5 goes here, the 2 goes up here. 5 times 2 equals 10, plus 2 equals 12. 1 I put a 0 there because I'm starting the next place value. 1 times 5 equals 5. 1 times 2, remember I already used that, so don't look at that. 1 times 2 equals 2. So I add these together, 5, 7, and 3. My decimal place goes before them. Okay, that's my step 1. Then I go into 5.8. It would be 5. 5.8 minus 0.375. All right, so these blank spaces count as 0, so 0 minus 5, you can't do that. 0 minus 7, you can't do that. So I'd have to come over here, make this 8 into a 7, make this into a 10. Then I know I need to borrow something from it, so it becomes a 9, and then this becomes a 10. 10 minus 5 equals 5. 9 minus 7 equals 2. 7 minus 3 equals 4. I bring my decimal point down. 5 minus 0 equals 5. So 5.425 is my answer to this whole problem. So now I'd like you to do 11 on your own if you have the time to do it.